Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 16th, 2016. Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, announced today that it has arrested 9 Palestinians over the last few months who were part of an active terror recruiting cell. The Shin Bet said that in a joint operation with the IDF and Israel police, it dismantled a recruitment ring being run by Lebanese terror group Hezbollah that had operatives working out of Lebanon and the Gaza Strip recruiting new members in the West Bank, in Gaza, and within Israel itself by using social media. According to the Shin Bet, the terror cell had planned to carry out suicide bombings and ambush IDF patrols in the West Bank with funding from Hezbollah. The Israeli security agency said that the Hezbollah organization has recently made it a priority to try to spark terror acts, doing so from far away while attempting to not clearly expressing its involvement. The terror operatives were arrested back in June and indicted. IDF forces clashed overnight last night with rioting Palestinians in the southern West Bank. The IDF said its forces were on an overnight operation to uncover weapons in the Al-Fawar refugee camp near Hebron when dozens of Palestinians hurled improvised explosive devices, blocks, and rocks at the troops. The Israeli troops then responded with riot dispersal means, including rubber bullets, towards the main instigators to prevent further escalation. Palestinian media claims that a Palestinian teenager was killed in the confrontations and several others were injured. Jewish organizations are extending their deep sympathies to the Muslim community in the U.S. after the murder of an imam and his assistant in Queens, New York this past weekend. Imam Malauma Akanji and his assistant Thara Udin were shot at close range as they left their mosque on Saturday. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder said that it is tragic that in a tolerant society like New York, a person might be targeted for attack because of his or her religion. He said, on behalf of Jews around the world, I wish to extend my deepest sympathies and solidarity to the Muslim community and pray that this was an isolated incident that will never be repeated. The director of Muslim-Jewish relations for the American Jewish Committee, Robert Silverman, visited the Al-Furqan Jam Mosque this week to meet with congregation members mourning the deaths and attended the funerals of the 2 victims. And New York Regional Director of the Antidefamation League, Evan Bernstein, said that while motivation for this crime is still being investigated, nothing can justify the killing of an innocent man walking from his place of worship. The NYPD is continuing its investigation and trying to determine whether the murders were in fact a hate crime. The Associated Press reports that explorers in Poland are trying to find out whether a train rumored to have been used by the Nazis to hide gold does in fact exist. When the Nazis fled Soviet troops in 1945, they reportedly hid the train, which contained gold, jewels, and artwork stolen from Jewish and other victims during the Holocaust that were sent to the concentration camps. Apparently, the train was hid in a secret tunnel that has yet to be found. A year ago, 2 researchers in Poland claimed to have located the train using radar technology. Today, 35 volunteers started a new dig and should know by Thursday whether the train is in fact at that location. Project spokesman André Gach told French news agency AFP that the train is not a needle in the haystack. He said, if there is one, we will find it. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, August the 16th. At 7 o'clock, a discussion of the history of the West Bank and suggestions of its future in a possible peace agreement. That's with Rabbi Stanley Davids, Rabbi Emeritus of Temple Emmanuel in Atlanta, Georgia, at the JCC of Stamford, Connecticut, with James Cohen, who is CEO of the United Federation of Greater Stamford. At 8 tonight, Knesset Minister Naftali Bennett explains his view of the West Bank settlements, as well as weighing in on Israel's social, economic, and religious challenges. At 9, a visit with residents of the West Bank community of Karnei Shomron, and at 10 o'clock, Professor of Jewish Studies at Indiana University, Shaul Magid, talks about the life and peace philosophy of Israeli Rabbi Menachem Froman, who worked closely with Palestinians. That's in a program of Limud 2016. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Mark Golub speaks with Chloe Simone Valdery, who is Director of Partnerships and Outreach at Jerusalem U, and an African American who defines herself as a Zionist and pro-Israel activist. She explains her opposition to Black Lives Matter support of the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement. That's on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 16th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.